So I've always had an interest in video games ever since I was a little kid, and I love playing games and just enjoyed sort of the challenge that's just obviously inherent in video games. And so I was a classroom teacher, and when I taught middle school math, I started to bring video games into the classroom in a bunch of different ways. And so some of those were more kind of in-depth problem solving type stuff where we would use a game like Portal 2 and kids would have to think about problem solving. And so watching the students interact with video games and seeing just the different types of thinking they were doing and the problem solving they were doing, it just seemed a lot more genuine in a lot of ways than just the textbook type problems.
Every kid has this like small part of them when they're growing up that they want to make a game, and here we're actually able to do that.
For the past 7 months, I think. Essentially what we've been doing is we've been designing, programming, making the artwork, making the audio, making cutscenes, making textures, all for our own video game.
So I think the interns that I've been working with have learned so much. Obviously they've learned about game design, project management, and programming. I think the most important thing that they've learned is how to solve problems that they haven't approached before in real world situations. And I think that's where foundry10 really has a benefit on like traditional learning.
I would argue that it incorporates a lot of things that we do learn in school. There's art, music, programming, history. I'm still learning all the things I'm supposed to be learning here. It's just camouflaged into something that I want to learn about.
And I've always wanted to do pixel art just because it's pixel art, and I've always liked playing those kinds of games because there's like that personal connection. I don't want to do something that I'm not going to be passionate about. So doing this is really, really cool for me.
You're here not to make a product, you're here to learn. That's the other thing, just to keep in mind, you know, like just enjoy the process of it. Don't be worrying about the final product, which we worry way too much about.
We got an opportunity to go record at Valve some sound effects for a game. Maybe like a map opening or someone getting hurt, things like that. And I took the opportunity to bring in my guitar to Valve, played some theme music for our songs. Music is like one of my big passions, and finding a way to incorporate that into this project was seriously like one of the best things that I could have done here.
We were on our own. That was actually, I'm actually really proud of that. We actually did really well for ourselves. Like it felt like we were on our own, like in actual business.
There's so many facets to making games that it can serve as a jumping off point to all these other knowledge bases that maybe students didn't consider. And I think that's one of the things that we hear over and over again from high school students when we interview them, is that sometimes, let's say they have an interest in like mathematics, but they really maybe only think of maybe 1 or 2 careers that you could have in mathematics. And when they start to get a broader understanding of, hey, actually I could manage a hedge fund, or I could be an investment advisor, or I could do all these different things, it starts to open up this whole world of opportunities that maybe they didn't know exist. And I think that's one of the benefits to a program like game design, is that there are all sorts of things. If you watch the credits on a video game, there are all kinds of different people working on that game that most people maybe don't stop to actually think about. Those are all careers, and could be an interesting area for a student to explore.
The different learning style that we have here, and a lot of schools I think should change their style to something like this. Instead of having a teacher talk to you and being like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing today, here is how you're going to do it. Instead of working through like the guidelines of a teacher, you're paired with a mentor, and they put you in a burning pit of fire and expect you to get out of it. Because you're an adult now, you can do that. You're capable. And if you need any help, they're there for you, and they can help you with whatever you need. And instead of showing you how to do it, they walk with you so you can teach yourself, but just having that support that you can fall back on.